or go to a grocery store and get stuff for a picnic. An African-American family
got original 1970
faced a whole
Ford Torino.
They really had to
AM, FM. These are cool radios.
Before they left.
We had some bad scratches in here. We got that removed for some reason on the back side. We got the original background light in it, so it lights up green.
Their mom
and we've cleaned it, redone the case, polished all the knobs, polished the lens and all the chrome, and we done a Aurora Design conversion on it. It now has AM, FM stereo, 4 channels out, 45 watts a channel. It's got a pre-out on it if you want to add a sub. It has an auxiliary in, which is automatic. I'll be demonstrating that. It also has USB port. This is your port you'll be getting with it. Play a thumb drive, which comes with it with this video on it, and music. This will also charge your phone, your devices. Got a smudge on it there. And you plug your auxiliary into here. It's push button operated and control operated. I'll demonstrate all of it for you. It also has voice ID, and it will scan for stations, which is pretty cool. We have a built-in fader.
She worked investigating
which is full-time,
harassment of African-American women in the South.
Front speakers.
And one of the places that African-American women were most vulnerable was on public transportation or
you have balance. You have balance built in your toner control, which is treble and bass.
And had to go
to Fort.
Broken wheel.
Treble and bass like you've always had. You have balance built in here. I'll demonstrate that how it works. We got all the presets. You got presets for AM and FM. Got all them working. Everything's showing up good.
Things to enjoy with
sheet in case they needed some kind of a script.
Now, if you want to go to AM, of course, you just turn the bar over. A little light turns to red. You're on AM radio.
The reason that we're in the absolute mess that we're in now.
Back to FM. Just flip it back. Got to keep all that. Everything works great. Alright, to put it in the scan mode, this is basically set up just like it is right now, AM, FM. Alright, we want to scan some stations. All you got to do is take your tuning knob and turn it up twice. She'll tell you in the scan mode.
This is
scanning for stations.
Now
it's going to start scanning stations without the needle moving.
Find places they could stay and eat.
The age of the university
we're going to let
matter, because it's something that
we're going to let it go a few stations. I'm going to show you how to lock on the station and actually even find it if you want to set a preset for it.
I don't remember that part. I just remember the black leather.
No, we stripped it off.
Yeah, we stripped it off the leather. We started with farm because we grew up.
I deal in a lot of stay on this upper end, keeps him out of trouble.
The takeover's real. Hit us with your favorite song on the 92Q Facebook page and join the takeover on 90.
Original stereo light. So you got that going for you. It comes on when you find a stereo channel. Find a couple more stations. One I ain't gonna get in trouble with. Say I like that channel there. All I gotta do is turn it once. It'll hold that station for you and lock on it unless you want to find it. Just start turning the needle. It'll go quiet. There it is. Pull out a preset. You got it.
Outsourcers.
That's how you work out. Also now you, of course, you got station identification. 1, 2, 3.
FM 89.9.
Tells you where you're at. It will do this on AM and FM if you're looking for a Pacific station. And they are pretty close and pretty well right. It's hard to get one exactly right on that station. That's how your voice ID works, your scanning. We're going to go into the balance. As you'll notice when you turn this, it has a little center notch in it. All you do is to get into balance, since you got a full-time fader, is go counterclockwise like 12 to 10. 1, 2. She'll tell you in the balance mode. As long as you're moving that after she tells you, you can balance from right to left.
This red carpet
Balance adjust.
and then give them a
Right
shiny
side.
award
Left
for
side.
just rocking it. I'm thinking about my friend Julia. I have a
Gonna
girlfriend
balance
named
it out,
Julia
let her set it.
who's a single mom.
Balance set.
Who's been
Now you're
diagnosed
set up.
with
Or you can
autism.
sit there and fade from front to rear anytime you want to.
She handles a tremendous amount of stress.
Hasn't changed that some of those components.
If you know, in case.
Welcome back. I'm ICR zoologist and research associate.
Yes.
Laughing.
I'm on the frost of my razor. And now, you were shelter in the storm. Hallelujah, you restore my soul. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound.
Let you hear a little of it. Your auxiliary in is automatic. We're going to put a little MP3 player on it. You'll get a male-to-male cord, comes in the package. You can plug satellite radio into it, CD players, CD changers, your phone, anything that's got music. You want to put a satellite or XM radio in, all you got to do is plug it in there and turn it on. You plug it in, and the radio will automatically switch over. All we got to do is hit play.
I feel nice, like sugar and spice. We came over here last year and
That's all you got to do. When you get ready to go back, you notice the little light's going green. That means it's auxiliary in. When you want to go back to radio, just simply turn that device off. And if you don't touch the radio in 20 seconds, it'll go right back to where we had it. If you want to cancel that 20 seconds and go faster, just turn it off and right back on. It remembers where you're at. We're going to let it automatically switch back over, so we make sure everything's working right. Automatic switched over. Original stereo light. You're back on FM.
Overnights on Nashville's 94 FM, The Fish. If you're up late,
All right.
friend, I'll be there.
Now we're going to show you a couple of more things. This is your USB. In your instructions, you have instructions on how to build files, and you got to name the file. MP3, MP4. It'll take all kind of music. Build a file, name it music, rock and roll, whatever you want to do. And as soon as you plug it in, a lot of people like to hide this. So to go straight to it, you don't have to take this out, and I'll show you why. Advance your songs, press it once. Twice to back up or repeat. Or I can use the tuner knob. Turn it up, back. You can even use the push buttons. Now, if you got this hid, and the only time you got to take this out is charge your phone or change the thumb drive out. So a lot of people use different ones, put a whole album on different thumb drives. If you'd like to put it in pause and go back to radio, there's two ways of doing it. You can hold the button down 1 second, put this in pause, go right back to radio. A little light's going to blink a couple times along with this one. It's going to go right back to radio. Back on radio, back on FM stereo. If you want to go back to it and hold it down 1 second, right back to it. Now it depends on how long you put this in pause whether it goes back to the same song or not, because you know, it's kind of computerized. Alright, now there's another way to go back to radio. You can use the volume knob. If you don't want to use the push button, take the volume knob, turn it down twice. Put it in pause, right back to radio. These radios do not require 12-volt consistence. There's no memory, no batteries to change. So if you take your car's battery out, or you got a switch to cut it off, like at a show, we do a lot of shows where we have to disconnect the battery. You don't have to worry about nothing. When you plug it back up, it's radio. It goes right back to doing what we had it done.
To be listed in the book.
If you're on USB and you stop, turn this radio off.
In the film is Idlewild.
Let's go back to USB. We're going to take the volume now. Go down twice. Back on USB. Alright. We shut it off. When it comes back up, it's going to go to radio and right back to USB. Let's give it a minute just like we wasn't doing anything. Now these things need to be wired up to the key or through the fuse box, so when the key's off, it's off. If not, you'll see this right here. Alright, we've done that. Let's go back to radio. It'll go back to USB where we left it. Back to radio. That's your original 1970 Ford Torino AM FM radio with the Aurora Design conversion, USB. Everything will be labeled for you. All you got to do is put it in and plug it in. I appreciate you letting me do it for you. Thank you.